So the start of the run is essentially the same as the any percent run, if you've seen any. The Slayer wakes up, and to progress, we have to shoot these 3 zombies in this room. So first, shoot the one in the middle, and then the one on the left, and then the one on the right. When they die, keep shooting and press the button. And the shooting will cancel the weapon inspect animation you will otherwise normally see. So next up, you want to align yourself next to the door, essentially like this. Let's pretend the door is still closed, and then line up like this on this dot. Now, as soon as the door opens, move to the left and then move backwards and squeeze yourself into this corner. And you'll notice that my cursor is essentially perfectly lined up with the, with this black part of the door. Now, next up, you want to hold forward and scroll. And that will get you into this corner. The next thing you want to do is you want to hold shift and pistol zoom and move slowly to the right. And as soon as you pass this line, just hold forward. And keep holding forward and just jiggle a little bit. So when you get through the door, and you have essentially a landscape like this where nothing is, visible or loaded, just simply scroll and hold forward until you see something. Then align yourself up like this. And I personally like to hold shift and then scroll and hold left. So you reach onto this corner. Then keep holding shift and hold right and scroll until you get stuck in this corner. And then hold left and scroll again until you reach this corner. And then we want to make our way over here. So I'm gonna just jump and scroll this way. And then we're gonna hop into this room, just like this. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to grab onto this invis ledge. There's like an invis ledge right over here that extends all the way to the right. So simply hold forward and scroll to grab this invis ledge. Now the next thing we want to do is we kind of come forward and we want to make our way to that part. So jump, jump, jump. Just like that essentially. So again, jump, jump, jump. Make sure that you actually aim towards this pillar, because if you aim too much to the right, you will fall back in bounds. If you aim too far left, you'll fall back in bounds. So just jump, jump, jump until you reach this spot essentially. Now next thing we want to do is we want to hold forward until we reach about this spot. So as soon as the room goes away and the room goes back, we want to jump towards that ledge over there. And then we want to hop essentially to, maybe I can show it to this pillar. And then I'll show you what to do again. So jump, jump. Just like this. Make sure you actually hop onto this pillar. If you jump a bit to the left, you'll clip back and bounce. And the next thing you want to do is you want to essentially hold W and jump again until you reach this part. Now, this is a bit tricky, but you want to essentially keep holding forward and aim a little bit to the left. So you essentially hug this part over here, so keep holding forward. And when you reach this point, just jump onto the ledge, because otherwise you get stuck over here. Next up, you want to keep holding forward until you see this part. And when you see this part, you want to hop into this thing. So just jump right in between this gap. And then as soon as you jumped over here, just jump to the right and you'll jump back in bounds. So just jump to the right and you'll hop back in bounds. So that whole thing would look a little something like this. If you fall down here, it's definitely not a big deal. Just make your way up here, and then you can essentially just get through this, and then you can just hop on. Touch this, and then jump, jump, and then you get what is essentially the end of the intro. So if you find yourself falling back in bounds by accident when traversing these invis ledges, that's definitely not a big deal. Just come into this room and find this corner over here. Then align yourself to the left part of this corner and just wiggle. And now you're essentially through the wall. Now, what I like to do is I like to line up my cursor somewhere past this line. So somewhere like this, essentially. And then as soon as you see yourself fall down like a little bit, as you can see here, turn around and then start scrolling. And at the peak of your scroll, just hold forward. Something like this. So the next thing you want to do is we want to hit the button that's inside of this elevator. So we want to come into this corner over here and just hug the corner, and then line up with this line over here. And then hold shift and pistol zoom and just hold A until you get to this black part over here. Now when you get to the black part, just aim to the right and you should see this trigger. Another setup you can do for this is you can come forward and you can look down, essentially. And it's pretty vague to see, but there's a little line over here. And there's a little line here on the left. Just line up your cursor on the bottom of the top line. Just essentially like this. It would be a bit easier to see with lower gamma. But yeah, as soon as you did that, you can also just hit the trigger over here, as you can see. Yeah, then just hit the trigger and end the level.
I'm willing to take full responsibility for the horrible events.
So that was the intro. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video where we'll go over to USC and collect the first secrets.